What's going on, everybody? How you doing on Facebook and YouTube? How y'all doing? Rob Lee TV. How you doing? How you doing? Um, as you can see tonight, we got two topics we're gonna cover. Tonight it's 9:32 here in the city. I got two topics I want to cover. The first topic is give everybody time to let me know that the show is starting. The first topic is about the baby formula crisis we got here in the United States. And where that came from, as you can see in the title, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? To survive. And that's where that title comes from. And what we're basically going to talk about on that first topic is because I want to cover that one first. Like I said, we have a baby formula crisis here. And I had seen in social media where a lot of women were going back, and younger women and older women were going back and forth about, older women or women, more seasoned women, were saying that these young girls don't know how to raise children, don't know how to feed children, don't know how to take care of children. A lot of the older, like I said, more seasoned women, they were telling them about the recipe for a baby formula, going back and forth, talking about what you can get. Some of the young ladies were upset about that because some of the young ladies were saying to the more seasoned women, that's some old slave, that's some old country, that's some old this. We don't live that way, and all that. But I noticed also with a lot of the young ladies, they didn't have a solution. The older, like I said, the seasoned women, they had a solution, but the younger women didn't want to do the seasoned solution because they felt like they in modern times and this, that, another. So what you see in the title, as I was saying, you got to do what you got to do to survive. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give my perspective on it because as a father, you know what I'm saying. It's still it falls, even though we talking about women and baby formula. Hey, men, we have to buy the baby formula and Pampers. We involved in that. So we're gonna discuss that and the problems. One of the things that I see, and the main thing in this is the solution. A lot of us, what we want to do, we want to keep the argument going, but we don't, like we say in the 901 union. It's time for solutions. It ain't time for debate because right now, if there is I'm gonna give you several situations, or well, not several solutions that you can use in this crisis that you can do, and it's left up to you to do either one of them. You know what I'm saying? That you want to do, but the reality is, right now, there are, and especially this baby formula crisis is hitting the poor extremely hard because, like I said, it's a money thing. Because, like I said, speaking as a father, even my son now is 18, speaking as a parent, them cases of milk cost, whether it's powder form or liquid form, it costs. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. It costs. So the next one is come from my brother Dwayne Caffey. He put up a post and we was talking about prosperity preaching. And where that comes from, my brother was basically saying he had several photos up of, mega preachers or the ones that are always talking about prosperity preaching. Prosperity preaching is nothing new. One of the icons, or the icon that a lot of people use a lot of times when talking about prosperity preaching, is Reverend Ike. A lot of us are old enough, 30, 40, 50 years old. We old enough to know who Reverend Ike is. Reverend Ike was the blueprint, whether white or black. He was the blueprint because he started in the late 60s all the way up into the 70s, mid 70s. This that before his death, he was the man. He was the blueprint that you went off of because he had his diamond rings on, had his hair slicked back, you know what I'm saying, had the clothes on, and talking about his Cadillac and his rings and how he prospering because of the Lord and the prayers and this and other things that he was doing. But like me and on Dwayne's page, me and some of the guys were going back and forth about having, just discussing, not a debate, nothing. We was talking about how it has damaged, especially in the black community. prosperity preaching is doing more damage than it actually is. Just like I said about the baby boom, it's not giving a solution. What is happening with prosperity preaching? Prosperity preaching is keeping the black community poor than actually uplifting the community as a whole. So let me go ahead and get started on the first one. Here in the United States right now, we're having a baby formula. I can even speak at my store. It's the shelves are bare when it comes to baby formulas and stuff like that. For those ladies that cannot breastfeed for whatever the case may be, or those ladies that chose not to breastfeed, they're actually using the baby formulas. But like I said, Enfamil, Similac, some of the most iconic brands or major brands are no longer on the shelf, or it's extremely short in some of these department store. I mean, in grocery stores, Walgreens, CVS. It's a shortage of it. Now you do have what I think it's called good. I think it's called Good Feeding or Good. It's something like, I know it's Good Feed. That's another not off brand, but another brand. Walgreens has a brand, but a lot of times, still as a whole, though the baby formulas is extremely hard to come by. So, like I said, on social media, I sat back and, like I said, a lot of times you just see things. You don't have to comment on. It's just it for me. It was an interesting just to see like I said, the most seasoned women and younger women going back and forth and hearing what they had to say. Because as a male, like I said, still as a father, but still listen to mothers or grandmothers or mothers, all around mothers and grandmothers trying to tell the young sisters, hey, look, let's do this, do that. And how some of the young women were coming back. Like I said, some of the comments that the younger women would have was talking about, that's old country, that's some old, that's some backwoods and all this, that, and another. So, like I say, as you can see in the title, you got to do what you got to do to survive. Okay. Now, like I said, you can do your research on pet milk or carnation milk. They are the same. They are pasteurized, evaporated milks. There's a form, I can't think of it right off the top of my head. One of my sisters to make come over here may put the recipe in, and this, that, and another. Though that is that is an alternative to baby formula. And what we have to do is, I didn't do it, but I know I'm on point with it. Before baby formula came out and women could not breastfeed, pep milk or carnation milk, that's where it came from. Physicians say it's okay. They warned it's something that you don't know. Now, they are saying, for sake of argument, they are saying this is not something that you do for the entire life of the child. But if you're short on formula, you ain't got no money to buy the baby formula, here's the recipe. Okay, here's the recipe. Now, for the younger sisters, one of the things that we have turned the term survival into something negative. But like I said, I'm a shout out my brother Satori Sear. He called me Broham. I'm still young cat, but he called me Broham. I'm old school, man. I believe in doing what I got to do to survive. You know what I'm saying? In other words, right now, as a father, baby, if I'm having problems with the money, if whatever, we got problems of getting formula for my child, and Willa Mae is still living, or Hattie Lou is still living, or whatever the case may be, I'm finna go to one. Mama and them gonna give me the formula. That there's some of my loves had the actual recipe that they get, that their mothers and grandmothers, you see it. It came from the doctor. That didn't wasn't somebody wrote down on a card or something like. It came from a pediatrician. You know what I'm saying? Even though pediatricians don't want you to do this long term, but here's the formula. You see what I'm saying? So it's safe for children. Now, there are special needs children that may not be suitable for them. But like I said before, when you look at women that can breastfeed, 1 in 5 women cannot breastfeed. 1 in 5. So sometimes it's a choice not to breastfeed. But if you choose not to breastfeed and your money's a little funny, like I said to the young sister, I'm on my seasoned women side. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my sister's side. You know what I'm saying? Look, baby, we ain't got time for you talking about some country backwoods trying to check somebody. Somebody's trying to give you a solution. And if you don't respect it, okay, baby, what you can do, you can contact a pediatrician and you can run that off. That is the alternative. That's pet milk. That's carnation. Well, does your child? They're gonna ask you, are there any? Does your child have any digestive, any special need? Is this a special needs child? You know what that physician gonna say when you say no? My child is completely healthy. That doctor gonna shake his head. Don't use it long term, but they gonna shake his head because at the end of the day, that child needs to eat. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they eat. They eat our formula right now. That's what they doing right now. That you need formula. You ain't your wick ain't helping you because hey, it ain't on the shelf. Okay, so now instead of a crying baby and this, that, another, you need to feed your child. So instead of you knocking the older sisters about what they trying to tell you how to feed your child, because at the end of the day, baby formula there was no such thing. We just started getting baby formula, I think, if I read right, 1951. That's when baby formula hit. Now in 1951, before, let's go back 10 years, 1941, it was either your titty or pet milk or carnation. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. So we got to keep it 100. And a lot of your mama and some of y'all don't realize, some of you younger sisters, some of y'all was raised on pet milk, carnation milk, that little, and sometimes as you got older, there was a little infamil put inside your bottle too. That's why you got a little thickness to you. Because it, like it said, like pharmacists say, it's got some fat to it. It gains weight, and they get to talk about that when you look it up. But at the end of the day, that's how your mama got you to the point where you having a child now. Okay, when your mama took you over your grandmama house, and mama didn't really have any money for a formula, Big Mama made that up with a little K-Roll syrup in it, little sweet taste. Of you will love that when you was drinking them, when you was an infant and you was sucking on that bottle, and Mama Titty wasn't there. That's what Big Mama gave you. If you ask your grandmama, she'll tell you that. For some of you, not all, but like I said, for some of you women, when you find that out, yeah, you gonna find out. You was on pet milk, you was on carnation milk when you was at your big mama house, and sometimes you was sent home with it, cause mama money was funny. Mama money was funny, and she could not buy the baby formula that was in the store. We ain't got time. See, one of our this is the first. I'm gonna give you other solutions. But one of the problems we got to understand in this life, that's for me. This is just me speaking. I respect the elder. I'm just gonna keep it 100. I listen to elders. I listen to older men. I listen to older women. I sit back when them 70-year-olds, those 80-year-olds, and some of them 90-year-olds are speaking. I sit there quietly and I listen to those men. I listen to those women. Because see, they've been traveling this road for a while. They can give me some information on how to get through this road. Watch this pothole and this and that. All potholes and pitfalls ain't been filled in. So I need to pay attention to some of these older gentlemen out here when they speaking. Oh man, that was 1940, that was 1950, that was 60, that was a 70. Ain't nothing changed. The only thing that has changed is the word. That's all the thing that has changed. In other words, at one point in time, they were called prostitutes. Next time they turn around, they call them hookers, ladies of the night. We can keep going on. We didn't had the derogatory when holes. We didn't had that. It's been the same shit. It ain't the word. It's just the word that change. Nothing changes. Like I told you, my daddy told me, nothing changes on the street corner but the nigga that's standing on it. So, like this baby formula thing, where young women and older women are going back and forth on social media about this, baby, it's time to feed your child. You ain't got time to be talking about that's country. You ain't got time to talk about that's old school. That's that 1950, 1960, 1970 stuff. It sure lives, baby. And like some of you women that got children now that's in your 30s and 40s, that's what you was raised on. For even those women, there were some women in their 30s and 40s knocking older women talking about that. Like I said, I had some of my loves, my baby. They if you go to where that's at, you'll see it. It's about two or three of my loves on there. They done put the formula up. And it's old. You can tell it came, and you can see the doctor's signature. You can see it's not something they pulled out their hat. It came from a pediatrician. You see what I'm saying? This is what you need to do to feed your child, to help that child grow the fuck up. A few extra pounds on that child, your child is not gonna gain by drinking, by doing the formula and drinking pet milk. It ain't like that child gonna gain 90 pounds, 30 pounds, 60 pounds like that. But it's gonna, like I said, it's got fat in it. And that's what doctors, the pediatricians talking about. They worried about the baby gonna gain a little. Okay, all right, it's all right. But right now, this child needs to eat. We don't have time. We don't have time for that little that because you think, like I said, all that. Only way I can think of all this modern day trying to be like, I'm a millennial, I'm a generation Z. We do this, we got the internet, baby. We ain't got time for that. That child needs to eat. That child needs to be fed. Ain't nobody told you, ain't damn pediatrician talking about your child finna die. The only thing they said, don't do this if you know your child has special needs. It's something, it may have a condition where you check with your pharmacist, check with your pediatrician, because your child, if you know this. But other than that, a child that doesn't have any digestive problems, no other problems like that, the pediatrician is doing this. Yeah, go ahead and feed that child. If you need to feed that child, because it's been like that for years now, decades. When you need to feed your children, you need to feed your children. You see what I'm saying? That's the reality behind it. We can't walk around here mad and not paying attention to what these folks are telling us. See, a lot of us, just like I said in life, man, the elders have went down this road that you traveling. You ain't doing nothing new. What you doing is new to you because you just not doing it, but it's been done. Like I tell people, even though we talk about baby, polygamy and polyandry is nothing new. They was doing that in the 30s, they doing it in the 40s, they did it in the 50s. Y'all, it's new to y'all, but it's always been around. So when somebody that has been living that lifestyle, like I say, been like that's the old way of polygamy. That's the old way of no, there ain't no old way. If you a man that got two wives, the standard is still the same. If you're a woman, you got two husbands, the standard is still the same. You ain't doing nothing new. Like I said again, repeat it. My father told me, don't shit change on the street corner, but the nigga that's standing on it. Ain't nothing new about you. There's always been folks standing on the street corner selling dope. And you always gonna have that. It ain't changed since the time immortal. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be some fool standing on the corner selling dope. It's just now we got cell phones now. At one time, you used to back in the day. 1 minute you just standing on the corner, cars put up for that. Then it went to a dude got a pager now. You get that beep, you meet at a certain location, you drop it off, you leave, whatever the case. Then we got cell phones. Motherfuckers now making deals online and shit. It's the same shit. Ain't nothing changed. It's the same process. It's the same thing. You ain't doing nothing new. So to my sisters, like I said again, to those young sisters, now that's one. The next solution that I have for you is you need to talk to your pediatrician. A lot of times at hospitals, and if you have a private physician, depends on your insurance or whatever, groups, a lot of times they have smaller, you should get the powder form, don't get the liquid, because the powder form will last a little bit longer than the liquid. You know what I'm saying? Because it's powder. But they have samples at the pediatrician's office that you can ask your pediatrician do, and they might hand you 1 or 2 cans, and those 2 cans might last you maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, until maybe you can find it in the store, whatever the case may be. Maybe things will get better in 2 3 weeks. It might be back on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? The logistics and all that, and the shipping. Well, the logistic and all that will come together, and this, that, and another, and it'll be back on the shelf. But as of right now, you can call your pediatrician that you normally go and see your child. Do you have samples of it? Because like I said, it's just like anything else. They have samples of medications and this, that, and another. They have that. They have it. So my second solution to you is to talk to your pharmacist. I mean your pediatrician of they take the doctor that you go to for your child, and ask them, do they have samples? And them samples may last you 2 or 3 weeks. And there you go. And maybe you can ask again, and see what you can get. But that's another solution that you need to ask for. And again, ain't no time for you to act like your child needs to eat. Don't get in your motherfucking feelings because you got to tell you worried about somebody witching about you or talking about you because you asking the doctor for baby formula. Don't nobody give a shit about that. That child must eat. So if I got to ask the doctor to come up, see if they got samples in there so I can give my child a bottle so my child will not be hungry, I'm gonna ask them folks. I don't give a fuck about how they looking at me. I don't care nothing about them talking about no eyelashes. I don't care nothing about. I don't care nothing about no. If she got weave in that. I don't give a fuck what them nurses or the doctor got said. Do you have the samples? And if they say yes, they go in the back and bring it to me. I'm sticking it in my purse, or they got some bags that I can put it in, and I'm walking the fuck up out that doctor's office so I can feed my child. So that's your second solution. The third one, in most major cities, you have what is called a breast milk bank. A lot of times, again, you can ask your physician, you can look it up online, and this, that, and another. Now, some women, I don't want to give my baby some other woman's breast milk. Hey, it is what it is. I'm not saying right or wrong, but I'm going back to my thing. My child is hungry. I ain't got no money. I'm kind of fucked up because it ain't no formula on these shelves. I'm finna do what the fuck I got to do to make sure my child eats. That's what the fuck I'm finna do. So if that means that I got to go to a breast milk bank in my city to get a couple of, get the frozen and this, that, and another, and bring it home and take care of my child with it until I can do better or until the formula returns to the shelves, that's what the fuck I'm finna do. It's just like, again, to flip it over here to my side. You see a lot of times on social media where people are talking about, well, who should eat first? Should the children wait until daddy get home because he the hard working man and he done work hard and this, that, and another? Should we wait for him to eat? Or should you go ahead and feed the children and then he eat whatever's left? I'm gonna solve that real quick. Feed my children. You understand what I'm saying? My children are hungry. They are ready to eat. There's no need for their stomachs to be growling and this, that, and another, waiting on me to walk through the door to kick off some boots off my feet and talk about now we finna sit at the table and dad is home. Now we finna, my children are hungry. Feed my children. Put my plate in the microwave, put my plate in the goddamn oven. I'm on the way to the crib. Feed my damn children. See, we got this new ass way of thinking. We always trying to find some old new ass way to do some shit. And it's not necessary. We don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? Like those, like I said, that's enough. We always trying to find. Look, some of us are mad at our parents. Some of us don't like our mama. Some of us don't like our daddy, and this, that, another. And that's where a lot of these questions come from. As a man, feed my children. Just like we had a dumb conversation about should the mother sit, that's mama. If mama's sitting in the front seat, hop your ass in the back and let's go where the fuck we need to go. You sitting in the back seat of the car don't change the fact that you come first and you are my motherfucking wife. Sit your ass in the back seat of the car. We ain't got time to worry about that shit. But again, as petty as individuals, we feel a certain way. We feel a certain way about, oh, I don't want somebody. Ain't nobody disrespecting you. Get the fuck out your feelings. This is another situation. I gave you three solutions. Number one, the number one solution to me, the number one solution is evaporated milk. It's pasteurized. They are on. It's online. If you don't want to get it offline, you don't want to put it off a blog site. Pick up your telephone and ask them to give you the recipe for a baby formula, and they can text it to you, or you can go by your pediatrician's office. They'll give you the recipe. They give you the steps, how to do it. You can make this shit up at the crib because it actually works. Unless your child has a special condition or whatever the case may be, you do. The pediatrician will nod their head, thumbs the fuck up. You don't want to do it forever. You don't want it long term. This is short term until you can actually get the formula in your thing. But again, here's enough. Your child will not go hungry. Your child will not become sick. Your child won't get diabetes or none of that shit they're gonna go on. That's number one. Number two, when you talk to your pediatrician, make sure that you ask them, hey, look, you know, it's funny out here on the town right now with baby form. Do y'all have samples? Get the fuck out your feelings because you don't want somebody to make you feel like you can't feed your child. Right now, you can't. Because the truth is, there ain't no formula on the goddamn shelf, and you may have a condition. I forget the name of it, but you have the condition where you can't breastfeed. Or you have decided that you don't want to breastfeed. But what the fuck you gonna do? Your child is gonna go the fuck hungry because you feel like you got a certain feeling and this, that, another, a way about feeding your child this way. Ain't nobody got time for that. So, ladies, I would tell to the younger mothers, sisters, be quiet for a minute. Listen to these sisters now. Now, if you don't respect the elders, you don't respect these seasoned women, you don't respect them, fine. Go to your pediatrician and you will see with these seasoned women. There's the you might not like your mama, might not fuck with your grandmama, but these older women are telling you, yeah. This is the formula. Take care of that. That ain't no country shit. That ain't no back. That's to feed your child. We love now. We done turn survival into a baby. You're in survival mode right now. There is no baby formula on the shelf. Okay, we having a crisis. It's getting to a crisis. Go look at MSNBC. Go if you're conservative. Go look at Fox News. Go look at that, and they telling you it's a crisis. It's getting kind of thick. There's no baby face. We having a problem. Fox News gonna fuck with Joe Biden and government, and some people might ask what Biden them gonna do and all that shit. But it is a crisis, so we don't have time for the foolishness. We don't have time to be sitting up here talking about these old ass women, that old country, that old Mississippi, Alabama. My child needs to fucking eat, and if this is gonna help my child survive, you best to get about your business instead of all this foolish ass talk about you don't want to do what these older women are telling you, because these older women have traveled the road that you're going down. They have been without formula. You understand what I'm saying? They money been funny where they didn't had to, they only had maybe enough money for one can or maybe two cans of formula. And once that child went through it, it was time to do something. Hey, it was time to use this recipe. Hey, it was time to go to the doctor's office. Hey, y'all got some samples of baby formula because I need some because the stoves are fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't want to go to the hey, if you got to go to the breast milk bank in your city, take your ass over there and get it. It is what it is. Well, I don't want nobody else. Okay, I gave you three solutions. Which one you gonna do? Which one you gonna do? Because your shit ain't working. What you finna do? What are you finna do? You talking crazy to the other sisters out here on the town. Yeah, I'm a man, and I ain't got you. Well, man, that's woman shit, man. Shut the fuck up. Because it's time. As a man, I protect the family, and this is a child. That's part of my thing. Hey, feed that child. Get back your bed. All this other talk that you doing don't mean shit. So again, the three that are out there, you have the evaporated milk recipe that has been used for decades to feed children. It don't mess up their system. It don't do none of that unless the child is special needs or have a special condition. Other than that, it's just fine. The pediatrician will give you the recipe. The second solution is when you can call your doctor's office or the next time you got an appointment with your child, let them know you having a problem finding baby formula. They'll bring you small samples of baby formula and give it to you. Like I said, perfectly the powder form so that you can stretch it a little bit longer. But again, your child will be eating. We don't have time for the bullshit, y'all. So that conversation, even though you women can, like some men would tell me, those so-called alpha brothers would tell me, man, that let that woman shit. No, as if you truly, if for you brothers that might say a nigga's dipping into women bid as an alpha, you step in. I'm running this village. Hey, you sisters, sit your ass down somewhere. Sister, you got one or two choices. You gonna feed your child or not. All that smart ass talking to this sister ain't going nowhere. Go feed your child. She done gave you the option. If you don't want to, don't get mad at me because somebody ain't giving you no baby formula. Your baby crying. Don't come to that bullshit. Because here's three ways that you can feed that child. You make a motherfucking choice. Other than that, it's on you. We done gave you the information. Your sister done gave. A man has stepped forward and said, "Hey, baby, here's what the sister tell you," and I done gave you two more solutions. Which one you gonna pick? Well, none of that shit worked for me. You ain't tried none of it. And I would say this is not picking on anybody. We ain't got time for praying. We ain't got time to be getting on, oh Lord, please bring back the formula to the stores. Please help, Lord, help the truck drivers, help the plants that's making the baby formula, bring it back. And this, that, we ain't got time for that shit there. We don't have time for that. This child needs to eat. It's time for us to take care of our business and let's get these children fed. Now, to the other one, my brother, Dwayne Caffey, he was asked about prosperity preaching, and basically make it a little bit short here. With prosperity preaching, how it has damaged the black community. What, like I told you, with prosperity preaching, just to get your mind wrapped around it. One of the icons of it is Reverend Ike. Reverend Ike was known for that. Man, he had his diamonds on, his suit, hair was slicked back, and he let it be known. Reverend Ike was the founder of put your hand on a piece of paper and trace your hand and send it in to me with $10. We're going back in the day. Send it in to me with $10. Send me $5. And what I'm gonna do when I get your letter, I'm gonna read your letter and I'm gonna place my hand on your hand. And I'm gonna say a prayer for you to be prosperous in this life, to relieve your infirmity, to take the take away the illness within your body. Just make sure when you trace your hand and you mail it in, it's got $5 in it. He was also the founder of the oil. This is this. I have prayed over this. Me and my staff, we done prayed over this. This is godly oil, and what you need to do with this godly oil, rub it on yourself. And this coming from my anointing. And I tell you another thing. One of the things matter of fact, when I finish this, I share it with you. One of the things, Brethren, I used to say, he used to put some money on the table, and he said, when you get the oil and you got a few dollars or whatever, pour the oil over the table and place it back in your pocket and watch the Lord go to work. But if you want this oil and if you want this oil, send me $10. And Reverend, I used to tell you a lot of time how I prosper is because of you, your love for me, and the word that I bring to you. So Reverend Ike was another founder of this. He used to say, if I need just I'm gonna use smaller. I need 1,000 people to send me $10. I need 1,000 people to send me $100. I need 1,000 people to send me $10,000. And he got it. He was also the founder of the prayer line. It used to back in the day, he used to charge people. He used to call me and I'll pray for you, or one of my sisters, one of my staff members will pray for you. And you call in, as long as you stand on that phone, and that prayer could last 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes prayer. Sometimes folks getting the Holy Ghost on the phone, and it's lasting 10 minutes or more, 99 cents a minute. And when you get that telephone bill, you done sent Reverend Ike that money. But the same situation, your money situation ain't changed. Your health ain't changed. Because you sitting around, you listen to Reverend Ike, you put the oil on you. Matter of fact, you trace your damn hand and you mailed it into Reverend Ike. One of the major complaints behind him was a lot of seniors, because he fleeced a lot of senior citizens. That was one of his things. But he never went to court. There were some lawsuits, but it never, transpired to anything, because like I said, hell, he asked. It ain't like he committing a crime. We can't prove this wasn't prayed over. We can't prove that he did. And sometimes, even to help himself out, Reverend Ike would have some drawings of some hands up there, and he got his hands over the, and he praying over the hands. He touch him, and this does another. You know what I'm saying? He was the one that started that testimony. He would pay folks to come up and put on fronts and flyers about, but Reverend Ike said this, and I put that oil on my money. Then the next thing I know, I got a blessing from God. It came to be true. I put it over there. I got a windfall. You got people that would go around and say, I was in debt, and I had a problem. I couldn't, like I was saying, I couldn't feed my children. And the next thing I know is I was feeding my children. The next thing that happened, I got a financial blessing. Somebody sent me $500. Somebody sent me $500, and the next thing I know, I was out there, and I had that blessing. You see what I'm saying? I got that blessing. So prosperity preaching has never been a benefit to the black community, because when you look at those that practice prosperity preaching, most of the membership don't have money, especially when you look at these mega churches. They are still in poverty. They've been members of the church for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And one of the things that these prosperity preachers do, when you ask them, well, I'm praying, maybe you're not praying the right prayer. Maybe you're not praying enough. Maybe you need to pray one more time. Because the reality is, man, as long as I keep you in a certain cycle, but I'm not giving you a solution, you're going to keep coming to me, paying me to tell you, to give you that feel good message and send you out there. But when he said live those lavish lifestyle, a lot of these brothers ain't never had no job. They have always been preachers. They ain't never had a job. They ain't never, all they done did is been in the pulpit. They done went from city to city to city to city, and that's how they make their money. See, in other words, they're not gonna tell you, "Hey, man, my money's funny." Well, the pastor ain't gonna ask you, "Well, how you spending your money?" He ain't finna talk about that. He gonna tell you to pray. He gonna tell you to pray. He gonna tell you. He ain't gonna tell you, "Hey, look, maybe you're living above your means. Maybe you need to cut it back." Now, prosperity preacher, he gonna tell you to keep praying. He gonna tell you to keep doing what you're doing to keep you coming to me. Like now, you got people that got these ministries. They're gonna give you their testimony. They're gonna tell you how they came out of a situation. But for me to keep telling you how I came out this situation, and these days and time, I need $20, I need $50, I need $150. There ain't no such thing as prayer lines. I got books for you. I got t-shirts for you. I got lesson plans for you. But ain't none of them lesson plans finna tell you anything that's gonna get you out of the condition that you're in. In other words, it's not gonna tell you, hey, like I said, you might need to look at what you're spending. You might need to be in an Impala instead of that BMW, so you can put some more money in your pocket. You might need to stop trying to manifest or survive or to struggle so people can drive up to a $400,000, $500,000 house in a gated motherfucking community. You might need to come over here because the money that you make right now, it might not be, you might not be able to get done, but maybe 170, maybe a 200,000, maybe $215,000 house. All depends on where you live at. You know what I'm saying? This is the truth. These prosperity preachers ain't gonna tell you that. They're not gonna tell you that, hey man, maybe you need a skill. See, you talking about because maybe all you done is you have only done warehouse work. That's all you done. You done did warehouse work. That's all you done. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. That's all you done. All you done is warehouse work. And that's it. And that's all you got going on. Well, maybe if you could go around here now, maybe if you go around here, maybe get you a skill, bro. Why don't you, instead of you putting the $10 in the till, let's take that money, man, and let's go over here and pay to go to this vocational center so you can pick this trade up so you can make some money. Let's go over here, man, get this certification. Let's get this license. And like I said, I use small things, but like I said before, here's the thing behind it. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do it this way? Well, look, you're an unarmed security guard. You know what I'm saying? You making a little bit of money. Well, brother, see, just keep praying, brother. They're gonna, right now you're making a little money, and I know how it is. But thank God you got a job. Stay faithful to that company. No, what I'm going to tell you is, if you need some more money, man, go over there to get 8 more hours so you put the pistol on your hip so the company can raise your money. In other words, instead of them paying you $10, now these folks got to pay you 13, 14. You see what I'm saying? Because now you're on guard. Or if you become an on guard, since these folks still don't want to pay you, still don't want to treat you well, you're on guard. You got other company. Now you can shop yourself around. You're not working for $9. You got the minimum that you can work for in these days of time as an armed guard is $11 or more. Now I know people gonna say $11 or nothing, but hell, it's better than minimum wage as an unarmed guard walking around standing up inside of a store. You ain't making no money. And you said you need money, so why don't you go ahead? But see, what they're gonna do in prosperity preaching, they're gonna keep you in that same cycle. And what they do is they're telling you to, I'm prosperous because I follow Jesus. No, it ain't because they following the word. It's because what you putting in the collection plate. You paying for his suits. You paying for his shoes. You paying for his first class ticket. You paying for that private jet. You paying for that car, that whatever luxury car that he driving. That good makeup the first lady got on. His side chick, that good makeup she got on. The hairstyles, the shoes. You paying for that, but no one is telling you how to. If you want to prosper in life, you got to work for it, man. You just can't sit up and say a prayer and all of a sudden now when you said the prayer, all of a sudden now shit gonna fall in your lap. I on my cover page, I put up a quote from Fannie Lou Hamer. A lot of people got mad at me. I got inbox. I didn't even let people know, but I'm letting, because I'm talking about this tonight. I got some inboxes about that. Because Fannie Lou Hamer said, man, you can pray to Jesus all you want to until you faint. But if you ain't finna put no work in, God ain't finna put nothing in your lap. It ain't just gonna drop in your lap. And a lot of people see that was wrong. That here they come. Here they come running out the church. But that's one of your greatest, that's one of the greatest, one of the greatest women ever to walk this planet, Fannie Lou Hamer. Go read her history. One of the greatest women, black women to ever walk this planet, Fannie Lou Hamer. And some of y'all were pissed off with the, I didn't know, yeah, that's what Fannie Lou said. You can pray till you blue in the face, till you faint. If you ain't putting no work in, you ain't finna do nothing. But like I said, Joel Osteen stand up there, hey, how you doing? If you follow God, if you do this, if you live your life this way, if you do this, he ain't telling some of y'all, hey man, you need skill. Ain't telling no man that's that you need a skill, bro. Ain't telling that woman sitting over there, baby, you need a skill. The reason why you broke is because you don't have any marketable skills, baby. It takes money out here. You got to market yourself out here on this town. But what he's gonna tell you when it comes to relationship, hey, look, y'all two need to get together and merge and build something. No, 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 sister. God got a man for you. He's gonna bring him to your life, and you ain't gonna have to hit a lick at a snake. You gonna have to be a woman thou art loose. Let it go, ladies. Let it flow. Let it run. And you still broke. You still don't have a decent man all the way up to a husband in your life. And some of y'all been following these mega preachers for decades. You was a little girl in the church. Now you a grown woman in the church, and shit still ain't changed because you're not putting in any work. When you look at most of these mega churches, I can only speak for my city. Most of these mega churches are in impoverished areas. You're gonna see these huge ass campuses, but it's sitting in the hood. Because you know why? I'm going to sell hope. I'm not gonna sell prosperity. I'm gonna sell you hope so I can prosper. I'm not gonna tell the sister, baby, the road that you're going, you need to come over here. You need to get away from it. No, I'm gonna keep you in that same cycle. Just like what I was talking about, John Bryan. I'm gonna keep you in that same cycle so you can come down front, fold your paper up, put it at the pulpit, this, the. God got your man for you. God got your, just hang on, hang in there, you know, do it, do it, do it. But didn't tell you you need to adjust your attitude. You need to change the people that you run with. You need to do all these different things so you could be more desirable to that man. No, you ain't gonna do that because what happens is if a prosperity preacher tells a woman that, and that's who mainly is attracted, because us men, we ain't in because we see the game. Because the question is always asked, why don't you see more men in church? We see the pimping in the pulpit. We see it. We see the game. And people get in their feelings, but we can see the pimping. We can see that game, man. You ain't saying nothing. That's why, like I said again, with Jamal Brown, when I did that one, that's why Jamal Brown was doing what he doing. He got to keep those women putting them cards, them that cash, them nickels, them dimes in there, and they got to stay available for me. So I got to tell them that most of these men out here, they are at fault. They ain't hitting on nothing. They ain't going nowhere. Come on, sister, hold on to Jesus. Hold on to his hand, baby. Don't change nothing about you. Don't adjust your attitude. Don't do this. Don't, and you keep that motherfucking coffer filled. That's prosperity preaching. Same with men. They don't, he's not telling me, and he's not telling me the problem that you have, and brother, is because you're not in your child's life. He's not gonna tell you that. He ain't finna go there. He ain't gonna tell men about Timothy. He ain't finna go there. He ain't finna do that because he wants to keep this brother steady pulling out the water, steady pulling out the water. He want him to sweat. He wants him to be in the church. He wants you running around the church. He wants you to keep putting money in that till so I can drive this car, so I can do first class, even up to the level of buying a jet. Some of these preachers have literally over the years have asked their congregation, I want a private jet and y'all need to get me one. And do you know, uh, these members of these churches will get committees together. They will fry chicken. They will sell pies. They will spin. They will do whatever the fuck it takes. So when the pastor said, I just bought, that's the picture. This is what God gave me. And he'll say it. He won't say you with the help of you. He'll tell you God manifested but it came from you. Prosperity preaching does not work. If you want to prosper in life, if you want to be successful in life, if you want to have money in your pocket, if you want to be able to build something, you must put in work. You can come out of the prayer closet. You done said your prayer in the prayer closet. Come out of the prayer closet and get on Indeed, get on Monster, okay? Go apply for a job. Get online and see what the classes are at Southwest, University of Memphis, Rose College, Lamont on. I could go on Lane, Bellhaven. In my city, I could go on and on and on. See what it's gonna cost you. You can get financial aid, but see what's going on. Go over here to Memphis area, go over here to Messick. Go to the adult learning center so you can get your GED so you can apply for these better paying jobs. But you ain't gonna hear that company. You not finna hear that. And ain't no need nobody lying saying that you do. You're not gonna hear that. Because every time I see y'all showing a preacher ain't telling you to go get another job. Preacher ain't telling you, I don't see no preacher talking about telling a man or a woman to go get a trade. I don't hear no preacher telling no a man or a woman to go get their degrees and this, that, and another so they can prosper. I sure hear him telling you, I need to go to Dallas and I need a first class ticket, and y'all come up with the money. That's why prosperity preaching does not work. It don't. It keeps you poor. It keeps you poor. Now some people gonna say, well, what about that was old preacher. That's from the soul. We understand that. But still, you need to pray. It's in your word. That's why I say it all the time. But I know, like I said, I ain't worried about it. I got Pastor Bob Maggot on my page. I got Bill Atkins on my page. I can go on. And y'all have seen them commenting this, that, and another on some of my stuff. I got it right on page. You supposed to pray, move. You don't pray and wait, but that's what a lot of y'all doing. Like I said tonight, it's not the regular. The first thing when I said we need solutions, we don't need to pray. We need to move. We already know what the problem is. If you want to say a prayer, let's say a prayer. When you get through praying, get up off your knees. Let's go. Let's go solve this problem. You see what I'm saying? Let's go solve this problem. Get up off your knees. Let's go. Let's go solve this problem. But see, a lot of us, man, a lot of us are tied in when we look like with Benny Hinn. Benny Hinn is one of the top. Benny Hinn, you see it. But literally, there are people right now, somebody sitting somewhere right now, sitting using a debit card, a credit card, or whatever, sitting Benny Hinn some money. He's sitting up there waving a jacket around and people falling out. He blowing on people, they hitting the ground. You see what I'm saying? He blow on people, they hitting the ground. Joel Osteen Church, you found over $60,000 in a wall. Not in a safe, not in a bank, not in an old safe in an office. $60,000 inside of a damn wall. Ain't nobody said nothing. Ain't nothing that's been said. No one, nothing been said. No, man, leave that alone. Leave that alone. People quiet as hell. And motherfuckers are still buying Osteen's books, still paying for him to come to your church. You still sending money to him so he can be on TV. You watching him, you drinking your morning coffee, you're listening to him. There you go. Clef O'Dollar, the same way. Clef O'Dollar doesn't ask for a Learjet. He got it. But y'all sitting your ass right on up there, steady listening to this, steady listening to it, and you still poor. He flying first class. He going to the Caribbean. He going there. Well, in my time, it'll go, baby, I lose my city. From Memphis, Tennessee to the bottom of Mississippi is 3 hours. I can put my toes on the beach and I could be swimming my ass off in the Gulf of Mexico. Don't cost nothing but gas. That's it. I could be in Jamaica. I could be in the Caribbean. I ain't got to wait on God's time. If I want to go, pray about it, get my money together, and go. But your time is coming. Just talk to Jesus. Pray a little bit harder. Go this route. Go that route. You gonna make it. Don't worry about it. Keep praying. Prosperity preaching does not work. It only works for those individuals that's preaching it. Okay? You got these individuals, like I said, evangelists, females. They out there, they got conference on top of woman's conference, 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 trying to make you this godly woman do this and do this and do that. And you've been to 6 conferences. And you mean to tell me in none of these conferences You ain't seen a godly man. You've been to all these conferences and ain't nothing changed in your life. You done had to. I got to go see her. I got to go. I got to go see her speak again because she touched my soul. Okay, what did she put in your mind to take you forward? From the first time that you saw her, here's the sixth time you said, what has changed in your life? Do you have extra streams of income? Did you go to college? Did you get a trade? Did you start another stream of income? As a single mother, are your children okay? Are they rolling? But she helped me with, okay, what has happened? But they're set up there, they will preach like a man, they'll grunt, they'll sound just like a man standing up there with their heels on and everything. Sister, you are losing. Here's another conference. We'll drink tea and you'll talk about scripture. You'll do all that mess there and ain't shit improved because you're not moving. You're not moving. You talking about you manifest things in your life. All you done got prosperity. Here's another one. Clefo Dollar used to say, and like I said, people that make Father Clefo Dollar don't get mad at me because I'm quoting the pastor. But he told you all you got to do in life if you want to manifest, y'all need to go into these gated communities and put your hands on the house and say, Lord, this is what I want. And y'all sit there and you sit there and you sit there and ain't shit happening because your credit is messed up. You don't have the money for the down payment. You see what I'm saying? You financially can't afford that house. What he need to be telling you, if you homeless, if you need more shelter, hey sister, here's a program over here. Let's go over here to this housing program. Let's go over here to this housing program. It's going to help you. Let's go over here and do this. Let's do Habitat for Humanity. Let's go over here and get your house over here. You don't need no $400,000 house. Your children, your son and your daughter need their own room. You need 3 bedrooms, one for yourself, one for your son, one for your daughter. You need more space. That's what you need, baby. Go over here to Habitat for Humanity. Go over here, baby. Get your credit straight. Look, we got Sister Stephen that's inside of the church here. Go to her. She does credit repair. Go over there and get your credit right so you can have this house. You can have shelter. You see what I'm saying? We can have that. It's the truth. Now, somebody on my brother's page, someone came in and was talking about, well, there are some pastors, yes, we know there are some pastors that are trying to help, but they are overshadowed because we want to put the popular pastors up, these building hope pastors up. They ain't giving you no solution. They ain't finna give you no solutions. They might come and tell you if they walk away from them, let them go. We've been telling you that for years. But how can we get through this? You need no. You need to go to a counselor. You need to go to a therapist. That's what you need to do, baby. That's exactly it. Before you get into this next relationship, you need to resolve that issue with your mama, your daddy, brother, same with you. Before you fuck up another woman's life, go over here and get those issues within yourself. Get that together. And while you at it, man, get you a trade so you can have more money, so you can take care of a family, so you can lead a family. Go get that trade. That ain't happening. I know people love to say, what about my past? I ain't talking about your past. I'm talking about these prosperity preaching pastors. You look at most of their congregation, or you gonna make sure they're on the front row. You're gonna make sure that celebrity on the front row. Guess who in the church today? And they clap for them and this because you hoping that they leave $1,000, $5,000, put it inside the till. You want the celebrity at your church so it can be popular, so we can get people in there. So when no place come by, you put money in it. It ain't about who the fuck is in your church. It ain't about the celebrity that's in your church. No one cares that you got an NBA player in your church. No one cares if you got an NFL player in your church. No one cares about that. That somebody did a movie is at your motherfucking church. Don't nobody give a rat's ass. You're coming here for wisdom to go forward. But what I'm doing is keeping you in that same tired ass cycle. Like I said with my sisters. If you notice, you don't have too many pastors that are going to have conferences for men. You don't see that. You don't see a lot of conferences for women because what men do, we have discussion. We talk. We gonna listen to what you say. We gonna read. We gonna have our discussion. That's why you don't see those men conferences too much. That's why you don't you. I think it was called the Peacemakers. That's why that went to shit. You don't see that no more. Why? Because of the negative comments behind that. A lot of men, when they went to see the Peacemakers and was attending that shit, they came back. That's some bullshit. You don't see the Peacemakers no more, do you? You don't see those men conferences. You don't see that. You don't see that. But you know what? You're gonna see a whole hell of a lot of women conference because they know all we got to do is get the women in their feelings, get them excited. We're not giving them any solution. We ain't helping them solve no problem. We just making them feel good. We letting them get the tears out and stomp around and jump around and this, that, another. They go right back home to the same shit. They go right back home to the same shit. Some of these women going right back home to silence, a puppery, and a fucking puppet. Sorry, it's the truth. And your ass is buying books, you buying t-shirts, you buying everything. You out there got the book up on your arm. Now you finna sign up for this $3,000 class on how to manifest the husband, how to become that godly woman in Jesus, and all that. You putting cars down and motherfucker making money hand over fucking foot. And you've been going to conferences now. It takes a while, baby. It don't take a while to understand your purpose in life. It does not take a while for you to understand that you must pray and move toward what you want. If you want a better job, you got to look at what is your skills in your life. Do you have the education? Do you have the multiple skills? Do you have the trade? Do you have other streams of income? Do you have the courage to start your own business? Ain't got nothing to do. You woman down loose, woman under God, closer to Jesus. Let me buy this car. I'm gonna go to Atlanta. I'm finna fly to Atlanta to see her. She supposed to be in Nashville. I'm gonna go to Nashville and see her. I'm going up here to New York to see her. I'm finna fly to Dallas to see her. And you still in the same boat you in. There are some women attending these conferences. They ain't nothing but doormats to the motherfucking men there. But you been there 3. It's gonna take me a while to build up my confidence to walk away from this hell that I'm in. It's gonna take 5 conferences. Common sense should tell you right now, the man that you are with, he ain't shit. And if you stay your ass there, you're gonna stay in poverty. You're not gonna be appreciated. You're not, you it just ain't gonna happen for you, baby. But they're gonna tell you keep praying, keep moving, keep doing it, baby. Keep doing it. They're not gonna tell you to change your attitude. They're not gonna do that. That's why prosperity preaching does not work. And if you notice in prosperity preaching, men are pushed to the side because they already know. Why would I put, like I tell anybody, if your bills are behind, you need every dime you did. You can put your hands on the plate and let that plate pass. But he gonna say, y'all need to give because in the scripture it said, I need to pay my bills. I cannot pay my tithes this Sunday. I need every dime I get because Memphis Light Gas Water is due. My rent or my mortgage is due. My child got braces. I got things that I got to do. But he gonna make your ass feel bad because you didn't put nothing in that till. And what you gonna do, you gonna put the money in the till, you gonna pay your 10%, but you gonna have your ass on the phone, male or female. Can you loan me 50? Can you let me hold 100? Can you let me hold 25? Can you let me hold 30? And that's your 10% that you just put in the damn till. There comes a time, use common sense. Use common sense. Well, you didn't, and some of y'all actually let these church members make you feel bad. They got a list. Prosperity preacher. So and so ain't paid this much in tithe. Some of y'all get letters from your church letting you know we ain't see you ain't tithe. Didn't say they ain't seen you in a while. They sending you a letter about tithing. They ain't said they ain't send you no motherfucking letter. They ain't sent you damn letter talking about we ain't seen you. Why are you okay? Is the family good? They sending you a letter telling you ain't dropped no money off at this church. What going on? They don't know you sick. We don't know. We didn't know. But you had the nerves enough to send a damn letter out. You folks ain't lying on y'all, man. See, that's the thing about social media. It's truth out here and it's bullshit out here. And these folks ain't lying on y'all, man. Prosperity preacher don't work. Never has. It has always made the minister rich and made the congregation poor. See, what it does is this. He's my pastor, and that's good enough for you. Who are you up under? I'm up under Reverend so and so. Yeah, here we go. I'm up under evangelist so and so. And female pastor, I'm up under her. We got scripture that says all day long women shouldn't preach, but I ain't gonna get into that. But again, because that's modern time, you ain't doing that. Girl, make sure you come to my conference. Make sure you buy my book. Make sure you buy my course. And you still broke. I don't need no man. But at night you on your knees praying to the Lord, send me somebody. But you get out here in public with that bullshit. I don't need no, but you show in your prayer closet like a motherfucker looking for a man. But that evangelist ain't gonna tell you change your attitude. Some of you sisters got the wrong attitude. They're gonna tell you why, hey, girl. If these men don't improve submission, all that prosperity preaching doesn't get you anywhere. I'm gonna leave you with this. You must learn to pray and move. In other words, man, it's just like what I put up a thing on May 29th. I'm trying to build other streams of income. I'm trying to take certain things to another level. I am a speaker at the 2022 Entrepreneurs Expo on May 29th at the Starlight Center on Macon. Food trucks, vendors, business owners, all that. I'm a speaker. Little bit of me out of Foot Homes, graduate of Booker T. Washington. Little old bit of me. You see what I'm saying? I put in the work when I do Robert Lee TV, when I do Lunchtime Live. I'm putting in the work. I'm working. I prayed about it. I'm moving on this. And look what's happening. Look what's happening. Y'all can go through all my shit on YouTube. You go every now and then. People I call them part of my team, 901 Union. My brother Delwan, make sure you put your cash up. Make sure you mention your cash app, Rob. Make sure I know he gonna get tired of saying that to me, but I don't ask. You give freely because I'm steady working. Whether you put something in the cash app or not, I'm still gonna speak the truth. Well, what makes you think I ain't got no reason to lie about what I'm doing and where I'm going? I don't move in silence. I'm loud. You can't stop me. Like I tell people all the time, you can't stop me. You can only talk bad about me. And if you talking bad about me, that's gonna make people come toward me. You see what I'm saying? When people talk bad about you, that make people go towards you. That's it. Now some people, well, what are you saying about these preachers? What I'm telling you now is game. It's a hustle. Tell you like it is. It's a hustle. They're not telling you, they're not directing you in a way to improve your life. I'm telling you that. I ain't saying I'm better than a priest, but I'm telling you that. Sister, the reason why you have financial problems, baby, you need some skills, baby. You need to go from you need to leave it. You've been CNA long enough. It's time to either come over. It's time to either come over here and become an LPN or skip over the LBN. You need to come and be an RN, baby. You've been a certified nurse assistant long enough, baby. Brother, you've been working warehouse long enough, man. You do you have a certification as a mechanic? Do you, electrical, heating, air, roof? It's time you've been throwing boxes long enough, man. It's time, but rather than the pastor, do you have that certification that you prayed about? Come on with me. Let's go over here to this barber. Like I said, you've been cutting in the garage long enough, bro. Here go barber college right over here. Come here. You poor, man. You need some money. You talking about how the shit getting funny, how things are going wrong in your life and this, that, and that. Come with me, man. Come on over here to this barber college. Come on over here, get your license, man. Get over here in this shop, pay your booth rent, man, and cut some brothers' hair, man. Get your clientele built up. That's how you get your money flowing. Not one more prayer, not a different prayer. Pastor don't need to put his hand on your forehead as a man. He don't need to do that. Sisters of the church don't need to grab your head and say a prayer, help this brother, protect this brother, cover this brother. Say a prayer, get the fuck up, move. That's what that is. So tonight, that's what the show was about tonight. So if you, like I said again, make sure that you tune in. We're gonna be sharing it a lot. This, that, and another. Like I said, we got the Entrepreneur Expo coming up on May 29th. We're gonna have several speakers. Matter of fact, what I do, I know all of them because I be thinking about those. But like I said, my Marco McClendon from the mayor of West Memphis is going to be there. State Representative Jesse Chisholm is going to be there. He's going to be a speaker. Charles White is going to be there. I forget my sister's name. I'm going to start writing these names out so the next time I do them, I'm just going to spill them off to y'all. But we're there. What we're trying to do is actually, like I told you at the beginning of this show tonight, solutions. Not just conversation, people. Not debates and this, that, another. Solutions. That is what a lot of us need, man. We don't need, I can make you feel good. I can make you feel better. But I need, along with that, here's a solution. Because the first thing, I'm just speaking for me only. If I give you a solution, but you keep coming, I'm going to stop you dead in your track. I'm going to ask you, did you do or did you try what I told you? Well, not yet, not yet, not yet. I'm through talking. You're not trying to improve. Is it fear? What's the fear that you have of action? Are you afraid of success? Are you afraid of failure? Which one is it? Because they go together. If you're going to be successful, you're going to fail. Failure is part of success. They go hand in hand. They sister and brother. You're gonna have some good days in business, gonna have some bad days in business. You're gonna recover from them bad days in business and have good days in business. They sister and brother. You can't avoid neither one of them. So what you gonna do? Just like I said to my young sisters, some of these seasoned women out here that done had children for a minute, they know what they talking about, people. And if you don't trust them, that's fine. You don't have to listen to everybody. There go your pediatrician right over there. Go talk to your pediatrician. Don't get on the internet. Don't get on no blog site. Don't do none of that. You don't want to listen to these sisters? Go straight to your pediatrician and let him tell you. Let him tell you that this little black man here lied to you. Did he tell you anything wrong that ain't gonna help you? You see what I'm saying? But I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'll holler at you.